So this is my Ascend FS12T fishing kayak. Picked it up yesterday from Bass Pro in Palm Bay, Florida. A lot of mixed reviews on this thing. Some people think they're alright, some people think they're a piece of crap. I guess I'll find out what side of the fence I'm on in a couple of weeks, I guess. So, weighs 75 pounds, which it's not a lot, you know. I mean, I can pick it up, I can chuck it in the back of the truck, no problem. But I'm pretty sure 75 pounds dragging it 100 yards to a boat ramp, that's going to get pretty old pretty damn quick. So I thought I'd get one of those scupper dollies. Then I seen the price of them. Oh shit, hell no. I ain't paying, you know, cheapest one I found was like 90 bucks. Right up to like $250. I mean, who in the hell is going to pay $250 for a piece of crap calf that looks like it break in half? So I figured I'd make one myself. So loads of videos out there on how to make these things. So this is just my version of it. I'll give you a quick tutorial on it. If you want to do it, you can. If you don't, no biggie. You know, I pretty much think it's going to work for me anyway. Alright, so here we go. Okay, so what are you going to need to make this cast? Well, again, this is for the Ascend FS12T. Change the dimensions to suit your own yak, but for this one, first of all, your tools. You need something to cut, something to hold, something to mark, something to measure, and something to tighten. Use whatever you've got for that. Hacksaw is good enough. I got these clamps. These work pretty good. Parts that I used: basic plastic wheels from Home Depot, Schedule 40 caps. This is all 3/4 Schedule 40. I made 2 pieces 7 3/4, 2 pieces 8 1/4, 2 pieces 11 1/4. You got 4 T's, 2 pieces at 1 inch. Then down here for the axle, I got 2 spacers, 2 nuts, 2 washers, and then some foam. You can use foam if you want. I guess it's optional. I decided to go with it just to see how it goes. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray it black when I'm all done. But also what I'm going to do, might be a bit of overkill, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to stick some of this expanding foam down the pipes, down the tubes, just to give it a bit more rigidity. I have heard that some people have complained that this Schedule 40 is cracked given time, so hopefully that'll just stiffen things up a bit. I'm also going to actually use solvent to put this together. Some of the instructions that I've seen on YouTube, they just knock them together, so I'm actually going to solvent this together. So give me a couple of minutes, I'll set this up and then we'll go from there. Alright, so the first thing I did was build the axle. What I've got here is your T-piece, one of the 11 1/4 pieces, end cap, and then an inch piece in the middle there. And what I've done here is I've put a couple of scrap sacrificial pieces in, because what I'm going to do is when I put the axle, I'm going to put the axle in about so far, and then I'm going to fill it with foam. And what's going to happen is obviously the foam is going to come out of here, but I don't want it spoiling the inside of this T-piece, and then I won't be able to put the next tube in and glue it. So the idea is let it expand, cut the foam off, take this piece out, and I should have a nice clean piece in there. Also, what I'm going to do, obviously when you put the foam in, this stuff gets everywhere. So I've taped the end of the rod off, the axle off here. So when it does come out the other end, it's going to be covered in the foam, but I can take the tape off and I should have a clean axle. So here goes, wish me luck, see how it goes. Well, that came out just as I expected. You see the foam starting to come out there. So once it's finished expanding, I'll cut that off, pull the piece out, and then this whole thing should be full of foam. I got the axles evenly out each side. So give that a few minutes, then we'll be good to go with the rest of the build. Just a quick tip when you're putting these T-pieces in. You've got to make sure that they're perfectly aligned. You don't want them sort of skewed, because you want all this to be square. So what I suggest is when you put this on, put one end in first, doesn't matter how that goes, but when you come to put the second one in, do it on a flat surface, and then push the T in, and actually hold everything against the ground or against your flat surface, and then you'll make sure that everything's square then. When you come to put it in, everything will be lined up. So just as I'd hoped there, I don't know if you can see that too clear, but I've taken those little sacrificial pieces out, and you can see there's the foam inside. and I got a nice clean edge to put my next piece on. So that came out pretty good. Okay, so I've got the axle done. I got my both 8 1/4 pieces in. I got my cross member ready to go. So all I need to do, I'm going to put that on there. Then once that's on, I'm going to spray some foam down it. Then I'll put my 7 3/4 pieces in, and then it's ready for paint. Okay, so that's it, all glued together. Foam's doing its thing. I'll just let that finish expanding, probably give it about half an hour or so. Then I'll come back, trim whatever's left, clean the axle up a little bit, spray it black, and then stick the wheels on and see if it works. Alright, so the foam's done its thing. I've got a big mess of it coming out the two ends there, a little bit coming out where the axle goes. So I'm just going to clean this up, give it a quick rub down, and then we'll get it in paint. Alright, so there she is, all sprayed up, got the wheels on, and if you can see in there, I got the little spacer there. Using nylock nuts, so when you tighten them up, obviously you don't want to do it too tight, but at the same time you don't want to do it loose. So I got no lateral play in the wheels either side, but they move freely enough. I got the foam on, so all we need to do is, there she goes, sits in perfect. You see the foam's doing its thing. That's eventually that's going to compress, and what I'll do is, I'll glue this edge down here, seal it all up. And actually thinking about it, what I might do as well is, I guess in time, putting it in and out, it's going to scuff all this. So all these edges are going to get scuffed. So what I might do is just wrap it in either some silicone tape or maybe some insulation tape. I'll try a few things and see which one works out. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to take it out and we'll give it its first run. Alright, thanks for watching, and let me know if you'd have a go and it works for you. Alright, cheers.